Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. It's so crazy. You caught me doing weird little things. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. I am Marti Angel. I am Marti Angel. I am your host for the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded podcast show, which means woman of success without limits. That's basically what it means. So, grab your little notepad if you want to take some notes. Sometimes I throw a lot of little pearls out there and you want to catch them. So, bienvenidas, everybody. If you're watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you never ever miss an episode. And if you're listening to me on the wherever you listen to your podcast, your favorite podcast shows, gracias por estar aquí. Thank you so much. And let's get to it. Bienvenidas, hermosas, a otro episodio de Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. Soy Marti Angel. I am your small business coach. I am, your podcaster. I am the woman who believes that you were not built to burn out. So today, what are we talking about today? Today, we're going into something that has changed everything for me. Not just in my business, but in my body, my relationships, and the way that I lead. We are talking about emotional regulation. Estamos platicando de emotional regulation. Not as a therapy, though. Not as a therapy. But as a therapy topic, maybe, but maybe not. Not as a therapy, not as a therapy topic, and not as a self-help buzzword, but as one of the most powerful business strategies that you are probably not using. Mujeres hermosas chulas, I know that you're not using this, but it is so important for you to understand that it needs to be intentional. And you're not using this strategy that I'm going to share with you intentionally yet. So stay with me. This one's going to land, I promise. Les va a caer el 10, right? Okay, let's talk about this then. The real cost of a dysregulated leader, right? Let me paint you a picture. A potential client sends you to a message and sends you the message that says in a very sharp little tone, or, your client sends you that, your potential client sends you a message that's a little sharp, right? Or maybe you've been where your launch lands flat. I know I've been there before. Or you get a discovery call and the person ghosts you afterwards. I hate when that happens. Or if you are a network marketer like me too, then you enroll somebody and they buy the products and you're ready to help coach them to their business and they ghost you. What happens in your body? For most of us, and I'm including myself in this, the nervous system fires, cortisol spikes, the mind goes into overdrive, and it happens right in the middle of the night, right? And then decisions start getting made from a reactive place, from a contracted place, from a woe is me place, from a space of contraction, and you feel like you're making a reactive decision. You can feel it in your gut. Hermosas, chulas. ¿Sabes qué pasa? We either shrink or we go silent. Or, in some cases, we over-explain and chase. Ever been there? You know, that's kind of like a sales talk, right? So we say yes to clients who are not aligned because we need a sale, because fear is louder than discernment in that moment. That's the only thing that I dislike about sharing the products that I share in my network marketing company. I prefer to send them to my digital store, or not the same people, but I prefer to sell from my digital store. I don't have to sit in front of somebody and do a presentation to make sure that they understand. And more than likely, most people don't understand. So you have to discern in that moment if you're going to continue or what are you going to do. And then all of the things that I mentioned earlier, right now, all the things that I mentioned, when all of that happens, you know, when your nervous system fires, when your cortisol spikes, when the mind goes into overdrive, when decisions start getting made from the reacted, contracted space, when decisions start being made from a lack mentality, you know, and we're shrinking and we're going silent, and we are over explaining and chasing. Or we say yes to clients that are not aligned because the fear of lack is louder than the discernment in that moment. Amigas hermosas chulas, that is the wrong place to be making a decision from. But I want you to know this. Quiero que sepan esto. None of what I just mentioned is a character flaw. Nada. Right? It is biology. Your nervous system, escúchenme bien, listen to me carefully. Your nervous system is doing what it was exactly designed to do. And what is that? Your nervous system is designed to protect you from a perceived threat. And it feels the cortisol, and it feels the stomach, and your body feels all that. And so it thinks it's in a threatening environment, right? And then, you know, all these chemical reactions start happening in your body. But here's the truth. No one in online business likes to say this out loud, but mark my words. The most expensive thing in your business is a dysregulated leader. When you are dysregulated, when you are in that space that you're, you know, reacting from lack, everything that I just talked to you about, you're coming from a dysregulated place. You become a dysregulated leader, and every decision you make now is based from fear of lack, urgency, or unprocessed emotion. And that, my friends, amigas chulas, costs you money in your business. It costs you in revenue. It costs you in sales. It costs you in your reputation. It costs you in the relationships that matter most. The relationships that are going to help drive your business forward. Yes. I know. I've been there. Let me just share with you what regulation actually means for your business. And here is a shift that I want you to make today. So listen carefully, and here's a shift, so take your notes. By the way, stepping out of my host position and into my marketing position, if you are watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, gracias. Sinceramente, gracias por estar aquí. Thank you so much for being here. I welcome each and every one of you. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell if you're listening to me where you listen to your favorite shows. Download the episode, and then once you're done listening to it, you can discard it. All right, emotional regulation. Let's talk about that. Emotional regulation is not about being emotionless. It's not about performing. It's not about acting like you're calm while your body is going through chaos inside. It's about developing the capacity to feel, to process, and then to respond instead of reacting. Because that's what you want to do. You want to respond. You don't want to react. And when you lead, hermosas chulas, let me share with you, muchachas, hermosas chulas, when you lead from that regulated place, something remarkable happens. Tus clientes se empiezan a regular. Your clients regulate off of you. Think about it. When you show up to a sales call, grounded, clear, present, unhurried, the other person feels it. You see, our aura extends up to 12 feet in front of us, around us. And if you fill that aura with the energy of distrust, with the energy of lack, with the energy of what if it doesn't happen, you know, that desperate energy, then what happens is the other person feels it. I want you to remember, trust builds in that space. So you can either, you know, deflate the trust or build the trust. But trust cannot be built in urgency. Cuando estás centrada, when you are genuinely grounded, you make clearer decisions. Haces decisiones que son más claras. Yes, you attract clients who are aligned with you. Now, do you want them to be aligned with your negativity, with your fear, with your judgment, with your it's not fair attitude? Or do you want them to align with who you are, grounded, clear? Like I said, you attract clients who are aligned, not just available, but aligned. And you, hermosas, amigas, chulas, you hold your pricing with confidence. So I want you to think about this. Are you closing with confidence? Are you sharing your prices with confidence? Or are you sharing with desperation and with fear that they might think that what you have to offer is way too expensive? If you're feeling that space, don't do it. No lo hagas. Don't do it. This is not a spiritual concept, hermosas chulas. This is a business strategy. Don't ever share your pricing from a place of lack, from a place of, you know, what ifs. Because all the what ifs are always going to keep us in the negative space. But if you want to come from a more positive place, blah, 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 think about imagine when, those two words. Imagine when she buys the cream for her face. Imagine that she's going to look amazing. Because, like I said before, you hold your pricing and you must hold it with confidence. Do not close with desperation, because desperation is not a spiritual concept. It is a business strategy that goes wrong. Hermosas chulas, if this is resonating with you and you're ready to start learning from that grounded, aligned place, I have created resources inside my StanStore specifically designed to support you. There's leadership guides, there's tools, and there's frameworks built for mujerpreneurs like you with ease and clarity in mind. Hermosas, you can find everything at my StanStore, right? So if you are watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. And in the description below are all the links that I will talk about today. If you're listening to me, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, look in the show notes. The links are there. All right? Okay, let's continue. Vamos, seguimos adelante. I invite you to think about what it is that I'm saying here. The practices that actually work are things that I know I have tried, and I know some of my colleagues have tried, and it works. So now let's get practical. Yes, let's get practical, because I know you, hermosa, chula, are a woman of action, mujer de acción. One of the most practices and one of the most powerful practices I integrate into my own life and into my coaching and into my coaching community. And when I'm working directly one-on-one with the body stresses, or perhaps I'm giving a Reiki session, doesn't matter. The point is that I'm working directly with the body stress response. You see, I integrate this in my own life. I listen to my body stress response all the time. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, I'm not quite sure how to focus on my body stress response. Well, let me just share that there are techniques that you can use to make sure that you're out of that stress response. And these are simple, gentle techniques that I use in my coaching practice, in my Reiki practice, in my yoga practice, and in my writing. And one of my favorites is breath work. My second one is intentional movement that might look like dancing. And my third one that I love so much is my EFT, because I am an EFT certified practitioner. So I use the tapping method that works with the body's energy, and it works in your energy points that can shift your nervous system in minutes. It can shift the nervous system state from like a burned out state to a balanced state in about 2 to 3 minutes, not hours. But hermosas chulas, when you tap, here's what I love about tapping. It works immediately. It doesn't work like journaling works, but it doesn't always work for me until about a week later. So people are like, oh, I don't want to journal every day. You know, tapping works in minutes. So I usually tap before a sales call, and I center myself first. So I encourage you, before you're going to make a sales call, center yourself first. Before I record my podcast or I go live, I center myself first, right? And it's very simple, very simple. Let me just take off my glasses, and then I can show you how I tap. I take a deep breath, exhale through the mouth, and right here I start tapping. I'm going to be making a sales call right now, and I am going to allow my body to be grounded. I'm taking a deep breath, and I remember that I lack nothing. I have everything I need, and there's no reason for me to feel lack. I am going into a sales call, and I'm here to be of service. I am simply remembering that I'm here to be of service. And it can be just one round like I just did, or it can be 10 rounds, whatever feels good until you can feel that place of groundedness starting to come in, right? Like I said, I do it before my podcast. I do it before I go live. I do it before I make a sales call. I do it before I even show up on any Zoom. And then I show up. Especially after a triggering message or a hard conversation, you, my friend, amigas chulas hermosas, should create a habit of pause, reset, and respond. Pause, reset, and respond. PRR. Pause, reset, and respond, right? And this is not extra work added on top of your to-do list. Este es el trabajo. This is the work. This is the work for you to be grounded, right? Now, another practice that I recommend is build what I call a regulation ritual into your morning. It doesn't have to be an hour. It could be 5 minutes of stillness. Take a deep breath. Whatever it is you like to do, you can meditate. You can pray. You don't need to get out of bed to pray. You can stay in bed and pray before you open your eyes. I pray before I open my eyes, but I can feel my soul come back into my body. I close my eyes and I pray. And then before I go to bed or to sleep, I do breath work. Or even drinking a nice warm cup of tea before I pick up the phone. Whatever you do, it changes the energy you carry into every single interaction that day. So you want to make sure that you breathe a lot, right? You breathe a lot. And remember, you are a leader. You are a MujerPreneur. If you're still with me, sidebar here, remember to subscribe and hit that bell so that we can share this out. If you're liking what you hear, share it out so that I can help more people. Okay. A leader that is very tranquil is a leader that is also very powerful. Un liderazgo tranquilo es un liderazgo poderoso. A calm leadership is a powerful leadership. And here is the thing about nervous system work. When you do the nervous system work, it compounds. The more you practice it, the faster you return to center when life inevitably pulls you off kilter. That is resilience. That, hermosas chulas, is your brand, right? Grounded energy, hermosas chulas, builds trust faster than hustle does. I know. You were told, I was told, hustle, hustle, hustle. You must be working 24/7. You must ruin all your relationships with your family. You must, it just felt like that. It was like, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're like this, bam, 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 bam. And that's all you're doing. But let me tell you this. When I stopped banging and started breathing, I want you to hear this. I became a better leader. People are exhausted by urgency nowadays. We all know the trick. Buy now before the price goes up. Every time I see one of those, it's like, okay, that was it. Not mine, not for me. Don't push me, don't force me, don't give me that fear of missing out, urgency kind of feeling. I don't need that. I don't need anything. I am complete. I am whole. We, the people, are tired of the countdown timers, the last chance, the 90-minute webinar. Oh, yeah. Take it from me. The 90-minute webinar is no good anymore. Tell me what you got to tell me in 15, 20 minutes tops. Give me 10 more minutes for questions and answers and get me out of there in 30 minutes. Raise your hand if you're like me. Drop a comment if you're like me. You see, those last chance emails, I hate those. As soon as it says, it's going away, boom, I delete it. I don't even read it. How many of you guys do that? We're tired of that. We're tired of that nervous system deregulation that you're throwing at us. The leaders who perform confidence but radiate anxiety underneath it all are the leaders that we don't want anymore. Your audience, they feel the difference. When you are grounded or when you are nervous, they feel the difference. Even through a screen, even in a caption. You know, we throw energy out all the time. We throw it through our hands when we write. We throw it through our, you're watching me right now, right? But when you show up regulated, when you show up consistent, when you show up calm and genuinely clear, hermosas, chulas, you become the safe place. And in a noisy, overwhelming market, hermosa, safe is magnetic. Trust is magical. Presence is magnetic. Tus clientas no solo compran tus productos o tus servicios. Remember, your clients not only buy your products and your services, they buy how you make them feel. And a regulated leader makes people feel seen, safe, and capable of their own next step. That, hermosas chulas, is your competitive advantage. Not the loudest voice in the room. It is the most grounded voice in the room that's going to call your attention, right? It's so important that you do that. So now, if you're still with me, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. And if your physical well-being is part of how you show up as a leader, which I say that if you are a leader, your physical well-being is everything. And I truly believe it is. And I want to invite you to explore my supplemental products with the company that I love to partner with, that has helped me, my mom, and my dogs. These are products that I personally use to support my energy, my focus, and my physical foundation for leadership, because this is my foundation for leadership. Because hermosa, chula, amigas, you cannot pour from empty. Let me repeat that. Hermosas, chulas, you cannot pour from empty. You cannot lead from depleted. You cannot sell effectively if you're not feeling well. Trust me, I know, being a 2-time cancer survivor, when I was surviving the threat of, my body breaking down, I didn't care with the sales. I just didn't even go to sell. So if you're interested in finding out what it is I take, the link is in the show notes, and also it's here in the description below. So go take a look and see what supports you. All right, hermosa. I do want to say this. I am here trying to build a community. So if this episode helped you take a moment to continue the conversation, I've created some simple resources designed to help you build your income online with clarity and confidence. And here's a shameless plug. If you would love a coaching community where it's not going to break the bank, please take a look at my coaching community. I'm in the process of moving it to a more private location because social media is too crazy. Forget those Facebook groups. Bleh. Nope. So take a look, explore what you love to explore in my StanStore Gumroad store, where everything is created with ease and sustainability in mind. Now, hermosas chulas, I hope that this episode found you, helped you, supported you, and gave you food for thought. Hermosas, thank you for being here. Gracias por estar aquí, for choosing growth in this season of your life, and for walking this journey with me. Gracias. Recuerda, juntas podemos más. And as always, les dejo un fuerte abrazo, wishing you the most magical, magical day. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Namaste.